When my parents were killed by a rampaging minotaur, I was left alone. I had no idea how to take care of myself, how to find food to eat, and certainly no way to earn money. Then, one day, I saw another orphan, no older than me, deliver a message, and the person gave them coins in return. I followed that kid back to the orphan guild house and signed up on the spot. Who knew not having parents could be so lucrative? The Orphans Guild exists in Moxbury as a messenger service. If you want to deliver messages across town and don't want to actually make the trip yourself, find an orphan. We'll do it for you, quicker and better than you could do it yourself. Here's how it works. You find an orphan or go to one of the guild house outposts. You give them the message that you would like delivered, and then you tip. Tipping is very important in any service industry, and the orphans are no exception. The more important your message, the more you should tip. The more you tip, the quicker and more securely your message will arrive. Don't forget to tip extra if you need an extra service, like a message delivered in the sewers or in a dangerous place. We even have orphans who can memorize your message and speak it out loud when they arrive in case your receiver can't read or write. We are a full service organization. And don't forget to tip if you're the receiver too. That's very important. Always tip when you receive a message, and the more you tip, the better your service will be in the future. The sending tip goes to the guild, who provides room and board and protection for the orphans. The receiving tip goes straight to the orphan's pocket, and that's awesome. There's nothing better than delivering a message to a group of adventurers fresh from a dungeon. They spend so much money, and a couple of gold for an orphan is nothing to them. Support your local orphan guild, and use us the next time you need a message delivered safely and quickly.
Hi, I'm Joshua Long, and you're listening to Tales from Moxbury. Tonight we'll be playing Blades in the Dark by John Harper. You can find Geekspective at Geekspective on Twitter, and you can find me at EvilDMJosh on Twitter. Let's go around the table and introduce the players.
Hi, I'm Amber, and I'm playing Vez the Goblin Hound. His beliefs are he is completely debt-free and living footloose and fancy-free. Pleasing Iora will lead to his ultimate happiness. He believes that trouble follows Nux around like a sick dog, and that tombs can control ghosts. His instincts are, if a situation looks like it will end badly, he will run. He will react badly if someone gets in his way or messes with his possessions. When guns are drawn, Vez will prioritize finding cover over everything else. And the newish one was, when pressed in a line of questioning, he will now vomit.
I'm Brother John, and I am playing a orcish cutter by the name of DeMarco Thrask. His beliefs are that might equals right, that Nux is a suspicious character and needs to be watched. He believes that Fez can be useful if given the proper encouragement. He believes that Toombs' honesty is refreshing, and he also believes that he himself is a terrible person and deserves every bad thing that comes his way. His instincts are to guide the group, never back down from a challenge, and to never leave home without his favorite jacket.
My name's Dave. I'm playing Iora, the half-elven spider. Iora's beliefs are that everyone has a price. Others' perceptions of gender can be manipulated. Iora believes that DeMarco can be trusted with responsibility, but conflicting with that belief, he also believes that goblins, orcs, and bugbears will eat Whis-purrs if left alone with him.
I did kind of drool over Whis-purrs last time.
This is true. I will throw him in a stew.
Iora's instincts are that he always exploits a known weakness. When the mission is compromised, Iora will retreat quickly, and Iora will always extract a price from those who try to mislead him.
Boom.
Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm playing Nux the Bugbear Lurk. His beliefs are that he loves both Matildas. Nothing good comes from deals with the church. Vez is the only one who can be trusted completely. Somehow you still have not messed that up for me. And the crystal of Kaze would lead to great power, which is true so far.
Yeah.
His instincts are when cornered, he will lash out. He never leave anything behind, and he needs to always be earning.
AB. And today we actually have a special guest. Who may that be? Let's find out.
I am Shane from the Total Party Thrill podcast. You can find me on Twitter at Mundangerous. That's M-U-N Dangerous. And today I am playing the feline wizard's familiar, Whis-purrs. I was the familiar to a dwarven wizard by the name of Turtle, and I have of late been haunting the Broken Chalice and picking up some odd jobs for the channel. My beliefs are that cats are people, you bipedal oaf. And my instincts are, if you slight me, I will repay it many times over. And if you rub my belly, you'll be my friend forever.
Aww.
I'm not going to touch that cat.
We'll probably start off where we kind of left off for everyone except for Tombs. Is you guys are at the Broken Chalice, and you all agreed that you're all going to work together to go get the other half of the treasure map from the Stout estate. And you all are fairly certain that it is in their vaults somewhere.
And Tombs is in prison.
Yes.
So he's not along for this adventure.
Right.
And I convinced Whis-purrs to come with us because I got him high.
Yep.
And help us read Dwarven runes.
Right. That was the problem, is that no one else could read the Dwarven runes.
Yep.
Okay.
I completely forgot the last episode. We were extremely desperate to get Tombs into prison.
Brother John, didn't you buy a crap ton of catnip as well?
I believe I did, because it's like the extra incentive for Whis-purrs.
The down payment.
The down payment, yeah.
Oh, before we do, so I don't think I can actually maintain the accent for Whis-purrs. So I have actually built it into my character that my bad accents are part of my character.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Great. Okay, so I have questions about this heist that we're potentially going to be doing. So we just got done with another. I turned in. We just got done with downtime actions, essentially. So we are down the Broken Chalice, and this is when we do it, like our
gather
information stage.
Quotes, yeah.
Because we don't know really anything about the Stouts.
The Stout
estate, essentially. I know. Well, Amber knows about the Stout stuff, but yeah. So, Iora,
Yes.
you're good at gathering information. You have contacts.
I have some. No, I don't.
Don't we have contacts anymore?
Mine's burned.
Who do we have good contacts with anymore?
I don't know. Let's see. More like look at your faction list, and maybe Whis-purrs has ideas as well.
Oh yeah, Cat.
I'm sorry, are you looking for a contact?
Yes, we are. We don't have anybody who we are in contact with that deals with the Stouts or really knows anything at all about the Stouts.
I believe perhaps my friends at the channel might have some previous experience with the Stouts.
Let's set up a meeting.
Are there other cats?
They could be the other cats in the Broken Chalice.
Are the other cats? Are all of your friends goblins? Jesus.
Oh my god! I don't have any friends actually, so I don't know how that works.
Well, what about Ig?
Ig's not a friend.
What is Ig?
Kind of like like good to have.
Okay.
Is the badger with you?
No.
Good.
We don't need two animal companions in the party.
Well, we don't need one trying to eat the other is what we don't need.
Excuse me, I am not an animal companion. I am a full member of this crew for this job. I will be paid commensurate to my value.
Okay. Yes, we will pay you.
Thank you. Just a bit of respect, thank you.
If we don't respect Vez,
This is fine.
we do. Because Vez and I are friends.
Yeah.
You're married.
We're more than that.
Well, yeah, when you said you didn't have any friends, it hurt my feelings, so I left that a little.
I mean, do you consider, like, your romantic partners to be friends? I mean, I don't know really about, like...
Are we really talking about romantic relationships right now? I think we're supposed to be gathering information. So let's track down one of these cats who knows more about the Stouts.
Yeah, I think Bug is eyeing some of the cats nearby suspiciously.
So while this is going on, Whis-purrs ignores all of the other cats in the tavern and walks over into a back room to speak to somebody who's got 2 legs and a full brain.
Yep.
Because most of the cats in here are slightly better than regular familiars. So I will go and kind of set something up with the channel while you guys have it out over your on again, off again thing.
Yes.
So you go in the back, and it's pretty much like a low light. There are, a few other humanoids actually in the back, and they're in the middle of this like circular room that has all these kind of couches and stuff like that. There is this big vase that's like probably about 4 feet tall. and it has these weird arcane art etchings on it, and you see people walk up to it and they shove their head into it, and there's some water that gushes out, and they keep their head underneath the water for a very long time, like longer than someone should be able to, and then they come back up, and then people continue talking amongst themselves. So who do you approach there, Whis-purrs?
So I would look for somebody who is somebody who's already wet, because the last thing I want to do is get wet.
Yep. Yeah. So you approach Medzok, and you've worked with Medzok before, for when he's asked you to go like spy on some people, maybe a few districts apart or a few districts away. And so they're all wet, and they have a towel, and they're drying their head off, and they look down to you. What is it, Whis-purrs?
Medzok, I am working a job now with these fools who come in here outside. They have deep pockets and bad ideas, but they need information about the stouts. Have you got a guy who's got a guy?
Of course. We can all have a little bit of information about the stats around here, and he kind of looks at some of the other people, and they're eavesdropping, but they like kind of nod. And it's like, what kind of information are you looking for?
You know the vaults they have in their estate?
Yes. Go ahead and roll a. Do you have consort?
I have sway.
Okay, you can do sway.
All right. My high roll is a 3.
Oh, jeez.
Welcome to the game.
Yeah, welcome to our life.
Okay, so you were asking about the vaults. Okay, he's like, well, we have heard that it's just one giant vault that is guarded by a statue, and if you can answer the statue's riddles, it's very easy to get by.
Sorry, I'm not there.
Out into the main room.
Yes.
Vez and Iora
Just-
look at each other and sigh.
We could hear like the faint word of riddles on the air. Could smell it on the air.
I think I know the answer to this, but you would not happen to have the riddles in your back pocket, would you, my friend?
I do not, unfortunately.
Yes, that's this is not good for us.
Don't get hurt. We still need your help here. And I'll keep some cat food on the side for when you come back.
This is why we are friends.
Like the wet cat food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They get served in a little crystal goblet.
I like to imagine like the whole accent changing thing is like since his wizard died and the spell he cast to like allow him to talk is just starting to slowly fizzle out over time.
Yeah.
So it's like Rolodexing through.
Yeah, all the accents. And,
Or he's a cat who's really bad at human accents.
There you go.
So what else do you all do? Like, I'm guessing you probably come back out from the back, Whis-purrs, and they're all still talking about, I don't know what.
Our bullshit, normal bullshit.
I could try to, because I now have a point in hunt, I could try to hunt down maybe an employee who works for the Stouts, who's kind of familiar with the estate, but doesn't really, they work for them, but they have no allegiance to them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, the man keeps me down, blah, 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 that kind of
yeah.
Right.
Coal
Yeah.
sweep or the chimney sweep.
So I guess I will try
Statue duster.
Yeah, we specifically want to talk to the person who dusts statues.
Yeah, they're just tired of the Stouts crap, and they don't care one way or the other. So I guess I'll try to hunt someone down who's
Sure.
like that.
Yeah, go ahead. With your one die.
With my one die. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm so proud of it. And let's see. I got a 5.
All right.
Yeah, nice.
I got a 5, man. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I think what you do is, there's an orphan skill, and there's always orphans running around if you keep your eyes out, right?
Keep my eyes on the orphans, right?
And you kind of go.
That's kind of creepy.
So you actually go to around the Stout Estate, which is actually built into one of the largest hills in Moxbury. There's not mountains in Moxbury, but there's some pretty big hills on the northwest side. And so their estate's built into this pretty big hill. And you actually see, you're kind of around the outside of like the fence, playing it cool. And you see an orphan like zip right out of the estate's entrance and starts going to wherever orphans go. And you go and grab them.
Orphans do
Yeah.
Wherever orphans go,
Well,
he goes
no one will know.
So you have this child in your hands, your big
Right.
hands.
I got this child in my big hands, okay? What kind of information should I be getting out of him? Like how heavily secure the place is, I guess? Hey, all right, orphan.
That is what his name tag says officially.
You just came out of the stout estate, it seems like, and there's some stuff I'd like to know about the stouts if you got the time to tell me about it.
Maybe. Are you gonna hurt me?
Oh, well, depends on. Well, no. I started that sentence and I thought about it and I decided no. It's pretty important, you see, and if you just let me know what I want to know, then you can go away scot-free.
Okay.
All right. So I want to know what did that place look like in there? Was it easy for you to navigate? How did it look security-wise? They're orphans.
Yeah.
They're just messengers.
Yeah, he's like,
I love it.
yeah.
I'm just seeing this scene in my head.
Giant orc kind of asking questions to a small child.
He's like, it's really, really big in there.
Oh.
Like, it's cavernous. It's like there's like a mountain inside. And like, I don't know. Like, I'm just a kid. There's guards, I guess. What?
You mind if I ask you if you delivered a message there or something, or are you delivering for them right now?
I delivered a message, and I have. He kind of closes his mouth.
Oh.
Does he physically close his own mouth?
No. Yes, he got.
Interrogating. My mind goes blank on what I should ask. Was it a urgent message, or was it just some like friends, casual?
It was from this lady called Chandra Velanese.
Oh.
Okay. That's very interesting. Well, I'll stop asking about that because I know you orphans have a code about not talking about what you deliver. And
yeah, is that good enough? Can I go now?
Huh.
You only got partial success.
Partial success,
Yeah.
right? I don't think. Yeah. How did you get in the fence? Did they just let you in?
Yeah.
Or is there like a guard up front that you had to like,
I just had to flash this badge, and like you've always seen Orphans Guild people,
I'm small. I can look like an orphan.
and they always look just like kids running around. But he like pulls out like a patch over his heart, kind of just flips out, and there is like a little child silhouette like running. Like it usually be like caution children running, but for them that's their little badge.
It's just a miniature children. Watch out for children.
Children at play.
Children at play.
I just showed this, and they let me in.
All right. Well, I guess makes sense. Orphans are the main form of communication.
They kind of are for a lot of people.
God, I can't say that kind of stuff with a straight face. Just the idea of orphans just being
It's
like Twitter.
It's like they're carrier pigeons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll let the kid go. He's
right.
told me enough.
And he just runs even faster.
bolts.
Yeah.
I will don a disguise as the most ridiculous, foppish Eurotrash elf ever. I mean, like extra pointy ears and like a
Lord.
circlet and the shoes with curly cues on the ends.
Sequins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I will actually go up to the stout estate.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right. Okay.
Bold.
I know.
Okay.
Favor fortune. Wait, is that right? Fortune favors the bold.
No one favors the bull, and I will knock.
As you approach the estate, like there is a fenced off area, as I described before, and there's a guard at the gate, and he stops you before you can even go near the gate.
Okay, sure.
He's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
Well, you are just a guard, so I will not explain all of my various titles and place names to you, but I would prefer to talk to someone of some importance at this estate.
He's like, what is your name?
My name is Taldagian, and I am the elf folklorist. I'm here to gather information about the dwarves for an upcoming epic work that I'm compiling.
Okay, go ahead and roll a sway.
All right.
I've always wanted to be a folklorist.
Sounds like a pretty good gig.
Yeah.
Oh.
6-4-2-1.
All right, so he lets you in. You go up to the door, you go in, and you come to this giant great hall. It's just gigantic. It's like when you think of dwarven architecture, it is is that.
Right.
And there is a kind of like a butler that comes up to you and they go, what do you need?
I wish to speak to one of the Stout family to gather some details and some of the reminiscences.
Okay, please sit down. And you're in the Great Hall, right?
Yeah.
So there's all these tables in there, right?
Right.
And there are a few people already sitting down, talking, drinking, eating, whatever, just whatever. And he sits you down at an empty table and walks. He goes and walks off, and you actually see him walk, like almost a football field, down to the other end of the Great Hall, and like whisper into someone's ear. And there's this dwarf with like fire red beard that's like kind of looks annoyed, but it's like shrugs and peers all the way down at you.
Yeah.
And then gets up and comes on over to you.
Good.
Thorak, this dwarf sits down. He's like, "Oh, what do you need, elf?"
Oh, well, hi. I'm Taldagion of the Moon Clan, and we're compiling our own family history of some of the lesser families within Mox Ferry, but the Stouts came up, and we were very curious about some of your reminiscences, and well, when we drink our fine elvish wine, we like to tell jokes back and forth, and quite frankly, we all know the Elvis jokes already. And I've come to gather some dwarven riddles.
Damn!
Oh. Nice.
It was a long setup, but I got there.
Beautiful.
All right. So he
You did not disappoint me today, Dave.
he's taken aback through some of this, but then he kind of gets to the point and he's like, he strokes his beard with both hands.
Yes.
Whoa.
And he kind of claps and two big steins of ale come and he's like, well, we need to start drinking then to start telling these riddles and jokes.
Well, we are not used to this kind of frothy, but I shall try.
Okay. And so you guys start drinking. He will tell you some dwarven ass.
Dwarven ass riddles.
Yeah. I don't have any. Because you find out, like, he tells you some riddles, but they're like, dwarves are more raunchy jokes.
Right.
Than riddles. And you get the feeling that maybe what Whis-purrs learned about riddles is not correct.
Okay.
I don't know. So that's one with success. Do you want to do a follow-up then?
Yeah. I mean, one of the jokes he told us was about the halfling maiden who had locks on her door to keep suitors away.
Sure, yes.
And we'll transition that away to how dwarves keep things safe.
Yeah.
And dwarven security and big stone dwarven vaults and
Yes.
See, how do you people keep your things safe? Because, well, for the elvish bloodlines, we employ very magical kinds of security, and well, I doubt dwarves would do such a thing.
He's like, yes, of course. We deal with magic from here and then, but not that much. And the best way of keeping your vaults safe is keeping them deep down away from everything. And we are some of the best stonework engineers around, so we have the finest stone mechanical locks.
Well, I can see that your great hall it's not my taste, but it is finely crafted, I can see. How far down would such a thing be?
Bang!
At least a mountain's height.
A mountain's height? Well, I mean, he will not show me.
No.
Nope. All right.
He gave you an idea, but he will not show you.
Yeah. All right. Well,
you write down the jokes, I'm guessing. At
yeah,
least.
I mean, it'll come up one of these days. All right, yeah, I'll thank him for his time and get out of there.
All right.
I know the short ones. They hate our kind.
Yes, that's...
They hardcore hate.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember
They
the last
burn
time
out the burrows.
Yeah.
And salt the earth
This
where we live.
This is very true.
I don't want to go in.
Well, but think of the treasure. think of
Can't enjoy treasure
Matilda?
if you're dead.
What if we killed some?
Okay. I've always wanted a good beard.
You're covered in hair.
Pug,
But it doesn't
may
grow
I
like
remind
that.
you that you're just covered in hair?
It doesn't grow like that.
I mean, we just need to know like how to get in there. So,
Do you want to kidnap a dwarf?
no, where did you get that idea
I
from?
don't know. You mentioned killing some. I thought maybe that's where we were headed.
What I hear you saying is you're ready to kidnap a dwarf, cut his beard off, and
God!
I feel like they're starting the mission.
Can you dig? By the way, I've never asked you this question.
Bugbears aren't really in the burrows like your kind.
We just need to find a way to get in easily, just in case they can't get themselves past the front. Like, I'm sure Iora is marvelous and will be able to do it, so I'm not worried about that. But just in case.
I can't imagine they only have one entrance.
Right, so let's go find it?
Sure.
All right.
Sounds like a survey.
Yeah.
I got one, so I'll assist her.
Yeah. So you can roll your assist first.
Oh, a survey. I got 2.
Yeah. Let Nux roll first.
Okay.
I got a 3.
So you don't get additional.
Oh, so I just got to do this by myself.
Yeah.
If you find someone leaving out of a weird door, we can jump them and figure out the
Right.
secret.
I'm trying to think if
What'd you get?
I got my high roll is a 4.
Okay, so partial success. You guys are looking,
Cover of night.
Okay, yeah, that actually makes sense. All right, yeah, so you do it in the cover of night, and you're kind of going around this giant hill, and you're looking around, and you're like, man, that's really good security. But then you notice that there's like a faint glow in a few places, like kind of near the apex of the hill when you're just kind of looking at the estate.
Oh.
And you figure out, so you get up in like some trees or whatever to try to get better angles and maybe go up into other buildings to try to see near the apex of this giant hill. And you see that there are actually these holes in the ground that are pretty much giant chimneys.
Oh. Is smoke coming out of them?
Smoke is coming out of them as well.
So I can't see down into them.
No, but let's say you egress onto the estate some. So yeah, you get to one of these big chimneys. They're not very high, and you look down and it's just smoke in like bright orange because you know
yeah.
it's all that. But you're like, well, that's probably way down.
Is it big enough that I could fit in?
Oh yeah, these are like really big.
Like big enough that I could fit in?
They're
Industrial furnace
They're
chimney.
industrial furnace chimneys.
Oh.
That's unfortunate. I mean, it's nice, but the only way down is straight into fire. I'm not a chimney expert, so I don't really know.
Okay.
Maybe we should call chimney expert.
In or out of character.
Okay, I'll actually give this to you since you were looking for easier ways. I guess. So you guys keep on looking, and at one point it kind of clears, and you just see like way down, like hundreds of feet down, you see a lava pool, and you're assuming it's like, but there is something over the lava pool. You could say it's way too far down to be able to see.
But it doesn't look like a straight drop into lava.
As long as that land on that thing, that whatever that thing is down there.
See.
I mean, I see a climbing kit on my character sheet.
Are we going now, or should
No.
we wait? We should.
No.
we should-
This
that's
is an
just,
idea.
That's just another, data point
I was
for you
going to
guys.
say, like, doesn't giant chimneys like that have a service ladder or something like that for maintenance
In the
purposes
inside?
on the inside?
Maybe. We could
Maybe.
always. I mean,
Maybe
someone's
he
got to
says.
sweep these chimneys.
Let's find the chimney sweep.
Flip a coin, they're conscious
Yeah.
of it and made a ladder.
I guess
Probably
so,
not. It's probably only happens like once every.
Yeah, I don't think they have a service, especially with a partial success. I'm going to say no, it doesn't have a service elevator or a service ladder.
And then these dwarves don't know anything about safety
I mean,
These stores don't know.
or maintenance.
I've never, in or out of character, I've probably never lived somewhere that has a chimney, but they do need to be cleaned, right?
It really depends on like how it's designed. This one's just a straight shot up.
Nothing really.
And there's
to-
nothing to close it and stuff. When you start talking about mechanics that go inside the chimney to close it and stuff, that's when you start to worry about cleaning. When there's things that move inside or do certain things, that's when you have to clean.
So there's no Cockney orphan boys going down these chimneys and
No.
sweeping them?
Nothing,
Okay.
They're all
where's
delivering letters.
Mary Poppins' friend?
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
Where's Dick Van Dyke? Oh wait, I know where he's at.
Hello, Mr.
My God, I'm sorry. James' face right now.
It's like, where's Dick Van Dyke?
Believe you all have done your kind of gather information stuff. So now you guys all reconvene somewhere probably nearby.
Our theater?
Oh yeah, the theater. So yeah, you guys. What does Whis-purrs see as you guys take him to this place?
Our lair, because at one point in time we thought, what was our name going to be?
Well, we talked about the stagehands and like the understudies and all of that.
I still like the understudies.
And then we did it with the Night Snails.
This is funny coincidence, but I will tell you about this later.
So we walk to the theater district, and there is like a old, like a cinema that's kind of looks dilapidated, but we had recently installed an alarm system, didn't we? That are just like giant snail statues.
Yep.
Not at all suspicious.
No, not at all. Who's here? I can't. And it looks pretty much like a regular theater inside, but we have set up our like a table on the stage and
Like a stocking.
stocks.
Yeah.
Like a sock puppet snail.
Yeah.
How long have you used this place as your lair, as your base?
Oh, well, quite a while, actually.
How long has it been? Like a month?
like a month,
Since really we formed ourselves together.
like 4 months, I guess.
Oh, I was thinking more of most of a year, but
Most of a year?
I have been to this area many a time. I audition here frequently.
Oh,
Wow.
What?
you
Like-
auditioned here? Like to join our gang?
Oh no, I am an actor. This
You're
is my
an actor?
Well,
Whis-purrs.
I am trying to be actor. Your traveling companies in this area are very racist against felines. They do not see me as an actor. They see me as a sideshow. But I will prove my craft.
That's really inspiring, Whis-purrs. I'll say this, once you get your share of this treasure from the Stout Estate, you should be able to fund your own theater troupe.
Well, there are expenses and there's overhead and my own kind of crew and all this stuff. I was like, I can't just take all the money and like spend it on me. We got mouths to feed.
Sure.
That's true.
Sure.
That's true.
What
I
mouse?
understand.
Kittens having kittens.
Oh.
But someday, yes, I will be famous. Whis-purrs the cat.
Yes. It wasn't that long ago we met someone else who was an aspiring actor that was being prejudiced against because of how they looked.
Oh, the ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, the ghost.
Right.
This is a brutal industry.
That's the truth. That's the
The
truth.
audiences, they do not appreciate the craft the ways that the actors do. The producers, they just want a quick buck. It is very confusing.
So what's your genre? Are you like a tragedy or a comedy kind of guy?
Well, my friend, I am a character actor.
Oh,
I have voices.
oh really? Why don't you give us
I was gonna say that was too
Well,
easy a setup.
have you heard this accent before? I bet you have.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
I know, I can turn on a dime. I've got a few of them in my pocket. Sometimes I can't hold them all so great, so I'm working on that too.
Is this a different cat?
How can he
Is that still Whis-purrs?
he's an actor, That's what he does. That's what he does, Fez. Magic.
Demon?
I mean, how can he make all those voices with that little sandpaper tongue?
Wow. You don't just talk about somebody's tongue like that, dude.
I find myself agreeing more and more with the goblin, which is quite uncomfortable since we nearly shared the meal.
Well,
Well, that's pretty impressive, Whis-purrs. I hope you land a gig someday.
yeah, I could see a one-man show.
Well, I don't want to put the cart before the horse. I mean, I need to, I could be better myself, but I have dreams.
Well, we support your dreams, Whis-purrs.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. It is good to have companions who are supportive.
Absolutely.
Speaking
Now,
of supporting, treasure. What are we going to do?
What are we gonna do about treasure?
Yeah, man.
Let's get it.
Sounds like you guys need to figure out your engagement options.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm never good at this part.
We always go for one, but we end up doing the opposite.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do.
I don't know if we ever tried an assault, but I imagine we try to do an assault and it would turn out to be really sneaky.
Yes, that's exactly what it would do.
It always involves at some point going hot.
Yes, that's exactly. Thank
so
you.
the options are assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, and transport. Probably not
Well, our occult dude's out
no, not
in prison.
Yeah, the cult guys.
Assault's probably not a good option.
No.
Assault's probably not a good option. No.
I mean, I could see Iora lying the way in, so that I think deception's definitely possible.
Well, we found an entry point
But
or possible
stealth
entry point.
seems, I don't know.
Do you think we could sabotage that chimney
Create
As a
distraction.
distraction?
and then sell ourselves as the repairman?
I don't know how that would get us anywhere near where we need to be.
Well, couldn't we go down that chimney then, and we would have a reason to be in there?
Vault inspectors?
Yeah.
Old inspectors.
I like the idea of making me an orphan and getting a badge. I can get in that way.
You just want that little.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
You just want that little badge.
I
is
just
all
want
you
the badge. It seems to give them access to stuff. So
Yeah, that's true.
I'm guessing Vez Orphan is off the table.
At what point did they kick you out of the orphan guild? Like when are you too old?
I think when you're too
It's got to
old,
be
too.
younger than that, right?
It's when
I
you're,
would think.
I would think so. Yes.
13 came to mind for me.
I was thinking it's
like
when you're
puberty
too
is when they
big.
get kicked
Yeah.
out, right?
It's when you're too big to fit into the holes we mentioned.
Oh,
earlier.
yeah.
Oh
Uh-huh.
my god!
Like when
That
you
might
get
be
stuck
true.
in a hole,
Yeah.
that's like a ceremony. Okay, so let's talk about vault inspectors as a. We could probably bluff our way through and come up with a name of someone high enough up in the stouts to say, oh yeah, so and so called us and sent us out to inspect the vault. There's been a problem.
Perhaps instead of from within the stouts, we could do like one of the dwarven clans from outside the stouts coming to warn them or kind of measure them or something like that. I suspect that they might share this type of engineering knowledge amongst themselves.
So how do we disguise ourselves as dwarves?
Cut your legs off.
I'm kind of fond of my legs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've got very undwarven people.
Perhaps we could disguise you as golems?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I could pass as a golem for sure.
Clockwork people?
Automatons, you know, those things.
Automaton.
I heard about it at school. I'm probably the closest in dwarf height.
In height, but not width.
I just put some pillows in there.
Sounds like a stealth or deception that you guys are trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I feel like stealth is the safe way.
I feel the same way.
We don't really know how long the chimney is. Do we have enough rope? Is that... I know the character sheet doesn't say...
It says climbing gear, so
It doesn't...
It's enough climbing gear to get us there. Is that? Can we assume?
You got rope and you got those claws.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, the claws.
Claws or pitons or what?
Tongs.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I said that really weird.
Is this... I don't... Okay. This is going to be a long climb, right?
It's hundreds of feet.
Hundreds of feet. Was there enough room for DeMarco and I to be
Yes.
like back to back?
Yeah, it's a really big. It's because
Industrial.
it's volume of air. It's for volumes of air to get out. So it's big.
I worry that Iora and, of course, Whisper would not be able to make the climb. We would have to...
Excuse me?
Well, how?
I am Cat. I don't even... how would I not? I just climb things. This is what I do. I climb it like curtains.
I've never seen a cat climb down something. Always up, never down.
You may have me there. I will be fine on the exit, though.
Yes.
You can,
Whis-purrs is small enough he could ride on Tusk.
I am
yeah.
I am worried about Iora, especially Iora, since she's so wimpy, not having the musculature to do this.
Oh, I'm ripped, man.
Luckily
Like,
this
just because I hit the cardio doesn't mean I can't do this. Like, I'm not all like,
You are soft.
I don't have a
all the
gym
way
body,
through.
but I'm like,
You like gummy bear,
luckily
maybe gummy worm.
this is the engagement roll that you're rolling as well. So
Okay.
oh,
boy.
or this is what you're figuring out. So if you're saying we're gonna repel or whatever down through
Yeah.
the chimney, you're rolling the engagement roll is applying to that.
Do we figure out our load now or then too?
You figure out your load now before you roll. And I will say, I was just thinking about this from a mechanic standpoint, since you guys are like, oh, we have climbing gear. If you all use your climbing gear, I'll give you an additional die to the engagement roll.
All right, I'll use my climbing gear.
yeah.
Sure.
Definitely.
But Whis-purrs does not have climbing gear, which is okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, maybe I should take the cat.
Little more trustworthy.
Okay, is this when we roll?
Figure out your guys' load.
I've already got it figured out. I'm
Whis-purrs
doing 5. Or
is heavy.
I'm
doing heavy.
Normal.
Yeah, heavy.
I think normal is my...
I think
yeah.
if they catch us down here, I mean, we're...
So 3 heavies and 2 normal.
You're talking me into heavy.
I mean,
know.
really, like, if they catch us,
Like,
you got two goblinoids, an orc, another hated
Right,
racial enemy.
I don't think we're going to...
Talk our way out
I mean,
of
we
anything.
could talk our way out, but I don't think we're going to outrun them in their own fortress.
Right.
I think I'm going heavy, too.
All right.
So everyone's heavy?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So then
Now you
would
talk
be
about it
out.
like that. Like, we're actually... Like, we're not trying to do deception or anything, so it's like we're trying to sneak in.
So you have a load of 8.
You have a load of 8.
And you have even more, right?
I have a load of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got 8 as well.
I want to picture this before we start figuring out all the engagement stuff.
Sure.
Is Whis-purrs, since he's part of your crew for this one, he has his own
Thief rigging?
thief rigging. So
Yeah.
Whis-purrs, what do you look like ready for this adventure?
Oh, I am wearing the finest silks. I have little cat pants, and I have a little cat shirt, and I have a black, how you say, bandana, yes, tied over my eyes with 2 eye slits to help ensure that I can see effectively. And of course, I have plenty of room to maneuver whiskers, so I can feel and make sure I do not get stuck in anything.
All right, let's figure this out. So you all are marking off your climbing gear right
So,
now.
okay, I'm sorry, just to clarify. We're coming down the chimney. We're climbing down the chimney. And then do we have any kind of plausible...
We have to go deep.
excuse to be down there? Like, if someone... if
I fell in this hole! That's my excuse.
Okay.
I had to jump over your fence, and then I fell through this hole. You can figure out that detail later.
Yeah.
I guess I
Yep.
do, yeah.
Yep.
We can also
Because
do
that's how the game
flashbacks.
works.
That's a
Yeah.
flashbacker.
That's a flashback.
So let's start off with +1 for just luck, plus another one for using the climbing gear. I think this plan exposes a vulnerability to them. So another one. I don't know if this is bold or daring.
I think it's pretty bold.
I think it's pretty bold.
I feel like climbing into a chimney over lava is daring.
Daring.
Okay,
daring,
so
yeah.
4. However, the stats are higher rank than you, so you'll take a -1 for that.
Okay.
So it sounds like 3.
But my special ability, weaving the web, gives us +1 to engagement roll.
Oh, okay. So back up to 4. Shane, as a special guest, is it all right if you roll it?
Yes.
Okay, so that's... What am I rolling?
46.
46.
You guys are going to believe this.
All right, what'd you get?
1, 1, 1,
It's
1, 1.
okay. Actually, I got a 4. So I got, 4, 3, 3, 1.
Well, that's not that bad.
All right.
I
Just
believe
barely.
that, yeah.
So you guys, you're in a risky position when the action starts. All right. Right before you guys start climbing down, who produces these
I
amulets?
produce the amulet.
Okay.
I'll carry
both
one
loads.
load. I can carry both loads if everybody wants to keep their hands free. What do you?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
That's
take
fine.
both. I'll take
So
both.
the orc Whis-purrs, bends down to you and hands you a small little red gem.
It's a far speaking amulet. It's
Stone,
kind of
yeah.
like you can talk to us if we're separate from each other, you know.
Oh, thank you. I pull? I don't know. I attach it to my collar.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or the orc can, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So
How cute.
And we take off the bell on his collar because we're trying to be stealthy.
with this item, it allows you all to talk to each other. Pretty much you can hear what they're saying, but you can't hear any of the other voices. So if someone's having a conversation, you can hear the person wearing the stone. So if Vez is having a conversation with an NPC, you can hear Vez, but you cannot hear the NPC. So you guys are going down the giant chimney. Yeah. And your climbing gear is great. And you get around to the end, and it's getting hot. It's, you're over, you start hearing this like ding, 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 as if people were forging.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
In the form
this
of
is
a musical
unfortunate.
rhythm.
Yes,
Maybe.
that's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Are they singing a song too?
Maybe.
That's what dwarves do.
Actually, that's totally that's totally a thing.
That is.
Yeah.
Like a work song.
I know,
That's
but
true, yeah.
I love it.
But we're like getting into like Disney territory, singing songs.
All the stouts are like super cute.
You guys are getting towards the bottom. The stone has been the same most of the way, and you get down to like the last 5 feet, and the stone is pitted pretty much from the heat and other stuff that gets there really quick. And as you guys are going down, especially when DeMarco and Nux get down there on the same level as you guys are starting to survey, it goes and it goes vroom, and all of you start falling, and now you're all dangling above the lava pit by your climbing gear.
It seems like a dangerous or precarious situation.
Yes. And below you, what you see is a giant pool of lava. To the left of you, you can see this giant waterfall of lava. Below you is like this not weird, it's just like an I-beam that kind of runs the structure or the opening. There's a few of these. But below that, near this, like the surface of the lava, is a giant forge and like a stone path that leads up to it. And you can, as you start like rotating around on your rope, you see below you a whole bunch of forges and dwarfs kind of walking around and stuff.
Wait, there are dwarves down here right now?
Yes, but they have not noticed you yet. But you are dangling from your rope with no real good way to probably get back up. What do you guys do?
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, what did you think was going to happen when we got down here?
Well, I didn't know there were going to be dwarves.
It's all die. Yeah.
We're dwarves now.
I didn't. Okay.
I mean, if we sit here for 2 more seconds, I'm going to go invisible and float away. And leave you all to die.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he has to, how does it read?
You may shift partially into the ghost field, becoming shadowy and insubstantial for a few moments.
Okay.
I can so that takes 2 stress, and then for 1 extra stress, it lasts for a few minutes,
Okay.
I'm invisible instead, or I can float. So could
You can add multiple stress to get all those things.
Okay.
So each one of those elements, you can't carry everyone at this, especially DeMarco. DeMarco is like his own payload, you could say, because he's as big as you, or if not bigger.
Plus, he's got 10 load.
I would prefer to not. Let's try and figure out a way to.
Okay, so directly below us is an I-beam. Is that what I heard?
And there's a few I-beams that kind of.
So we're gonna have to make this drop and catch that sucker.
That's one way.
I mean, if we. In Vez's mind, he's just imagining us falling with like somebody holding a rope, and then we like knock her down, like catch the I-beam, the rope, and then just like knock. Like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, like Vez, honestly, you're a pretty good candidate for this.
For what?
Lowering you down.
Okay.
Because
Gently?
Yeah, right. We could gently lower you down, and you could hook the rope around the I-beam, and then we could all come down.
All right. Sound good?
All right, who is going to cut and lower Vez?
I'm strong.
I'm looking at Tusk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Vez could. I mean, we're all dangling.
Yes.
Vez could like swing over and grab DeMarco, and then we cut Vez's rope loose, and then DeMarco just lowers him with his hands until he gets the I-beam. I think this is a great plan.
Excuse me, Dave. Vez is not a boy. Vez is a man.
Goblin boy.
So who is doing this? It sounds like a finesse.
Well, I'm lowering Vez, but
I have to catch something.
Or
Yeah.
I think it's a finesse unless you think it's something different.
I believe it's a finesse because it sounds like dexterous kind of.
Yes.
I could probably help him. I mean, I got a pip.
I've got a pip.
I don't
think everyone could help, especially with the situation. Maybe one person can try to help.
So the plan is for you to swing to me, and then I grab you, and then they cut you loose or whatever?
Yeah.
So
Well, since I'm catching you, I think I should be the one helping you.
Yes,
That makes
please
sense?
catch me.
And I have a pip in finesse, so.
would you say, as we're swinging on this rope, that we'll be swaying back and forth? Because I have that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, no, not a sway. Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
All right. So who is doing this action?
Should I be swinging too to help?
Yeah. I mean, who are you going to make roll? The person lowering or the person falling?
The person lowering.
That would be me. But that's for like lowering, that's finesse?
Yeah, pretty much.
You're trying to get me onto the I-beam.
Right.
Oh, right.
Right.
So, yeah. I guess that could be, yeah.
You know,
I'll
it's
do
like that game where you like the fishing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, sure.
The game called fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Let me think. So I will roll finesse then.
Yep.
And
Would you let me help him?
Tell me how you help him.
So he's holding onto the rope, and I'll just help guide it. So he's mostly doing the grunt work of like the hand over hand, and I'm helping like as Vez like swings one way, I'll pull
Oh,
pull
so
him
you're going to
back.
counter roll. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So he needs to roll his assist first.
Okay, go for it.
I got a 6.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. So you get 2 die.
So I get 2 die. Good. Let's just hope that I don't,
Shh, don't say that. Don't say these things before you roll, man.
What'd you roll?
I got a 3. What's my highest? I
And
got
a 1.
A 3 and a 1.
All right. Well,
Are we in a
Vez,
desperate position?
you're in a risky position.
Risky. Oh,
Vez, you probably will want to resist this.
Yes.
So DeMarco is like swings you over and it looks like it's good to go, and like Nux gives like a little pull to try to counteract your sway, so you're like line up, and he lets go. But there was still some momentum there, and you're like and you just see your hands just miss the edge, and you're gonna fall in lava unless you choose to resist. Or you're gonna fall below, probably into lava, not necessarily into lava. So you can choose to resist if you would like.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna choose to. I'll fall into the.
Prowess.
I'm trying to think of how I can make it. Well, we could fuck yeah, prowess. Can I be able to feel like when I feel the momentum start to go? God, I can't. You guys, this is tough, man. I was like, I'll use farts to propel me forward.
Why are you
I
getting?
can't do this.
You're getting so much worse.
I know. I'm getting so much worse as this goblin.
Well, I mean, it could. I mean, like I say, you're talking about prowess, so your own finesse.
Yeah.
Probably using
You're
your
still
own
wearing-
finesse to maybe lash out your own climbing hook
do you
to
still
catch
have
that
your
thing.
gross?
Yes.
Do you still have your gross 10-gallon hat?
Yes.
You could like use it as like a parachute kind of thing, couldn't you?
Yes.
With the hot air coming up, it's kind
Thank
of like,
you.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you,
and
John.
you're so small and all that.
Okay, that's exactly what I'll do.
Okay.
Is like as soon as I start to fall and I realize I'm falling too fast, I'll lift my hat off my head. It goes with. It pops off my head because it's all crusty, and I will. It's nasty. Okay, so I roll. I have 3 pips in prowess, so I roll 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
6, 6, 3, 3.
0 stress, and you actually lose a stress if you had any.
Oh man, I've always wanted
It was stress relieving.
because I piss myself.
It's like 0 G's.
Fez, you are on the I-beam.
Okay, so what do you guys want? What now? What?
Tie your rope off,
All right, I tie my
yeah.
rope off. Great.
and then we can all climb down.
All right. Because basically we have a rope to rope, essentially.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they're going to go down that rope as the one person's holding it. Okay, yeah. So
I'm not holding it. I have tied it off.
right. Yes, that's good. Yes, you all can get onto the I-beam. So now
right.
you're on this I-beam, and there's probably about 100 feet, maybe 120 feet up in the air above this lava pit and all these forges, and you see below dwarves working out.
Working out.
Working out. Working out, yeah.
Get those gains, brother.
I mean, if we go down, they're going to see us.
I mean, can we shimmy along these things and find an entrance or an exit or?
Maybe, yeah.
Like the way I'm imagining is like there's a hole and we're on this thing and we're looking down.
Like we're essentially on the catwalk of
Yes.
the theater,
Yes,
Yes.
right.
and we just need to find a way. I mean, there has to be a way down.
So we look to our left and it goes all the way along to the end of the pipe thing, right?
Yeah, it goes. These I-beams are actually running the length of this giant forge cavern, pretty much.
Right.
Oh, so we could just run across it to the door.
Yeah, ideally, yeah. So you guys see on one side of the I-beam, on one side of the I-beam, there's 2 giant double doors, and on the other side there is a one ornate stone door. Which direction do you go?
Thanks for listening to Tales from Moxbury. If you liked what you heard, you can find more at geekspective.com and on Twitter at geekspective. You can also find me on Twitter at EvilDMJosh if you're interested in geeky tweets. This episode was edited by Rudy Basso. He can be reached on Twitter at Rudy Basso for all your podcast needs. If you'd like to support Tales from Moxbury, you can become a patron at patreon.com/geekspective, or write a review on iTunes instead, or just tell a friend. Thank you for listening. See you all in 2 weeks.